So that's the starting five for the Blue Devils, dressed in a road royal blue.
And I'm sure everybody that's able to play tonight will. Josh Kilgore, I saw him walking down the bleachers carrying his crutch tonight. 5, 10, 14, 40. I'll get back with you. And who was the last?
44.
Starting for the Rebels, Ben Canaway, 5'10" junior. Mitch Bedingfield, 6 foot senior. Brad Conkin, 6 foot junior. Bo Haldren, 6'2" sophomore. And Levi Ashworth, 6'8" sophomore. Gate City at Sullivan South. Moments away from tip-off. South in their white uniforms tonight with that Carolina type blue. Gate City with their royal blue here tonight. Wore the black ones last night, had to wash them.
Yep, that's a fact. So, Sullivan South JV boys able to split on the year with Gate City. The Gate City Lady Devils won here tonight. South won at our place. So the boys hoping that doesn't hold true and that they can defeat the Rebels here on their home floor. Ball was tipped up, went off of Drew Scott out of bounds, so it'll belong to the Rebels. Sullivan South with it. Conkin gets it into Ashworth. Back to Conkin. He runs the point. Gets it right side. That's Bedingfield. Now Conaway. Get it down low to Haldren, and he's held by Luke Humphreys.
We were talking among ourselves before this game started. A lot of touch fouls called previously tonight.
Conaway inbound. Shot up. No good. Offensive foul be called on Bo Haldren. That time Luke Humphreys drew the charge. So Haldren's first, team's first. So Gate City with their first possession. 7:45 to go first quarter, just underway. Nate Clark has it. Picked up by Conaway. Gets it over to McMurray. Now swinging around Hubbard. Right side Luke Humphreys. Back to Hubbard. Head of the key. That's McMurray. Now right side Hubbard. Out on top Clark. Clark puts it on the floor. Lays it off for Hubbard. Right corner to McMurray. McMurray drives down the lane. Stops 15-footer in the air and in out no good. Tip by Hubbard. Hubbard hustles. Runs it down.
What a play.
Had to save it back in because he's falling out of bounds. Threw it into Conkin. Ball tipped away by Hubbard in front court from behind. It goes out of bounds. It belongs to the Rebels.
Yeah, Hubbard split two defenders, able to tip it up. But, you know, like you say, falling out of bounds, had to throw it back in and went south.
Ashworth has it. He hands it off to Conaway. Conaway between the rings, guarded by McMurray. Takes it right side, now right corner. That's Bedingfield. Bedingfield to Conkin. Get it down low to Haldren. Tipped by Humphreys. Stolen away Scott. Scott for the Blue Devils has it in front court. Now Clark left side with it. Humphreys. Humphreys on top. McMurray. He'll launch a three-shot. McMurray no good. Rebound Conaway for the Rebels. Quickly in front court. Here comes Conkin. Conkin has it right of the lane. His shot up. Blocked away. Out of bounds, and it'll belong to the Blue Devils.
Yeah, Scott slapped it out of bounds. Yeah.
Rebels. Here's the lob into Ashworth. His shot over Hubbard's good.
Yeah, 6'8" comes in real handy in situations like that.
He scored the first 6 points at Gate City and didn't have many after that. Clark for the Blue Devils has it, gets it to Hubbard, left corner, back out on top, McMurray. Swinging around right side, Scott. Scott drives in the lane, 13-footer from in front, good.
Nice soft touch.
Drew Scott for two, and we're tied at 2, 6:15 to go first quarter. Conaway has it picked up three-quarter court by McMurray. Across the timeline, now left side with it. Ashworth post up, can't get him. Instead around to Conkin, stops, 16-footer Conkin, no good. Rebound Haldren, his foot back good, and he's fouled by Luke Humphreys. Luke Humphreys picks up his second foul. And Haldren will go to the line to try to complete the three-point play for the Rebels.
5, Luke Humphreys, his second, team second.
Marquis Stepp and Derek Smith in the lineup for Gate City. Jesse McMurray and Drew Scott check out. Here comes Will Humphreys for Luke Humphreys.
Monday, Gate City JV boys will be playing at Burton at 6. Tuesday, varsity action at home, Burton at Gate City. Wednesday at 6, Gate City at DB, boys.
Haldren's free throw is good. So it's 5-2. South here early. Smith, right side, out on top. Humphrey swinging around east step, left corner. That's Clark. Clark drives in the lane, stops, can't shoot, get it back. Smith open for the three. Shot Smith, good. Derek Smith for three. We're tied at 5. Conaway, front court for the Rebels. Hands it over to Bedingfield, and he travels. So on the turnover, Gate City will have it tied at 5. 5:36 to go here in the first quarter. South man-to-man. Clark has it. Gets it over to east step. Left side, that's Smith. Derek Smith gets it now head of the key. Nate Clark for three. Shot Clark. No good. Rims out. Haldren with the rebound. Kick it over to Conaway. Front court with it. Now right side. That's Tolley. Out on top, Haldren. Left side, Bedingfield. Bedingfield, guarded by Clark. Kicks it back out Conaway between the rings. Now picks up his dribble. Works it right of the lane to Haldren. His turnaround jumper over Humphreys. No good. Rebound Derek Smith for the Blue Devils. Quickly ahead to Clark. Clark across the timeline, right side now. Hubbard has it, center circle. Picks up his dribble, gets it over to east step. East step, swinging around left side, that's Clark. Now right side, Smith along the right baseline. Will Humphreys. Will gets it out to Clark, to Hubbard, to east step. East step has it, puts it on the floor. Gets it over to Nate Clark, right side. Now Hubbard. Hubbard gets it down over to Clark, and he'll be fouled. Conaway, you could kind of sit here and see that play was developing, and Clark just kind of gave him a little, and okay, here we go, and Hubbard made a good feed to Clark, but he was fouled on the shot. So Nate will be shooting two. Conaway with the foul.
Yeah, Nate wide open going to the bucket. Good feed, just hit the bottom of the rim, but did pick up the foul, and he makes the first.
Zach Jones in for Will Hubbard.
I believe that's the Devils' first lead, 6-5.
Nate's second free throw is also good. Clark hits two. He'll come out of the lineup. McMurray in to replace him.
5-0 run by Gate City.
4:18 to go first quarter. Devils on top 7-5. Haldren on the inbounds, having trouble getting it in. Gets it into Ashworth. Jones gets him in backcourt. Get it over to Bedingfield. Bedingfield behind the back dribble, crosses midcourt to Conaway. Conaway has it right side now, right baseline. His shot up, no good. Put back is good by Bo Haldren. Aldrin had 20 the first time these two teams played. He has 5 tonight here early. Smith for Gate City. Will Humphreys now head of the key. Humphreys gets it over to McMurray. Right side, this is Smith in the corner. Picks up his dribble, needs help. Gets it to McMurray. Ball on the floor, run down by Humphreys. Humphreys gets it back to McMurray, and Scotty Vermillion wants a timeout. Timeout on the floor. It's 7-7 here in the first quarter. 3:37 to go. First quarter, we're tied at 7. Gate City out of the timeout with it. Jesse McMurray has it, gets it over to Humphreys. Will with it. Now to Drew Scott, who's checked in. Scott between the rings, puts it on the floor, stops, tries to get it down low. Off of Will Humphreys into the hands of Zach Jones for the shot up good. We could say we planned it that way.
Nice deflection.
Yeah, it was. Here's Conaway for South as it tips out of bounds by E-Step. So it'll belong to the Rebels.
Hubbard and Clark check in for Gate City's Jones and E-Step.
Timmy Joe Meade into the lineup for the first time tonight for the Rebels. South on the inbounds. Gets it in down low. Shot up off the glass by Meade. Good. Meade off the bench and plays one in.
6'3" senior.
Tied at 9. McMurray head of the key. Gets it left side. Clark down low. Humphreys. His shot up. It won't go, but he's fouled. And that foul will be on Bo Haldren, and that's his second. And much like last night with
Keller.
Bentley, with Bentley, South can't afford to get Haldren in foul trouble. He's a good player. Free throw, Will Humphreys is good. Make a score 10-9. Gate City leads. 2:57 to go here in the first quarter. Humphreys set for his second. It's on the way. It too is good. And the Blue Devils back by 2. Justin Roberts into the lineup for the Rebels has the ball. Midcourt now over to Bedingfield. Bedingfield has it. Gets it left side to Tolley. Tolley drives into the lane. Takes it down. His running jumper up and good. Evan Tolley with a bucket. We're tied again at 11. 2:35 to go first quarter. Traveling will be called on Justin Roberts, who had momentarily stolen the ball away off the feed from Humphreys to Clark. So, off the turnover, Gate City retains the possession. Clark looks for the lob in, gets it in to McMurray, swinging around now left side. That's Scott out front. Between the rings, picks up his dribble, gets it to Hubbard. Hubbard, right side. Humphreys now to Clark. Clark drives in the lane, throws up a little 10-footer, no good. Hubbard had a hand on the rebound. Humphreys did too. Clark make that. Hubbard ends up. Yeah, they pointed Gate City's way. Hubbard actually knocked the ball out of bounds. It belongs to South.
Almost a good steal.
So tied at 11, 2:14 to go. With the basketball is Tolley. Bedingfield fell down, able to get it to Tolley now over to Roberts. Right side, this is Bedingfield. Drives.
Fouled.
Foul will be on the Blue Devils.
For those listening last night late in the game when Coach Vermillion was upset and vented his frustration to an official administrator from J.J. Kelly, it was because a female student from Gate City was escorted out.
Fortunately, that's over with. Here's Meade, lobs it down low for Ashworth. Ashworth shot off the glass, missed it. Scott comes up with a rebound for the Blue Devils. Scott has it front court, gets it to E-Step, who checked in around with McMurray. Now right side, this is Clark. Out on top, Scott thought about the three, drives down left of the lane. Offensive foul will be called on Drew Scott.
Lowered the old shoulder.
That's a fourth
knocked
team
the defender
foul.
down.
Fourth team foul on the Blue Devils. So South has it. Meade the inbounds. Gets it in here in backcourt to Roberts. Roberts will bring it up the floor, guarded by McMurray. Get it over here left side. Tolley drives along the baseline, leaves it off down low. Ashworth shot up, no good. Put back is good by Timmy Joe Meade. 13-11 South in the lead. Nate Clark for Gate City. Has it. Picks up his dribble. Somebody come to him. Scott does. Scott has it. Can't drive the baseline, so he swings it back out to Hubbard. Now left side, that's Nate Clark. Nate gets it to Scott. Scott turns, shoots, and can't score as he is held and fouled. The foul will be on Evan Tolley, his first. That's the team's fourth.
Team 4.
Conkin in for Beddingfield for the Rebels. Smith in for Scott for Gate City.
So Gate City will have the basketball. Foul called before the shot. Clark gets it into McMurray. McMurray tries to get it down low to Eastep. Ball swatted away. It'll go out of bounds off of South. It belongs to Gate City. They trail 13-11, 59 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Nate Clark on the inbounds, and it's tipped out of bounds by Tolley. Tried to get it to Hubbard, right side of the lane. So again, Gate City with the inbound. That'll be Clark. Gets it into Hubbard. Hubbard puts it on the floor. Gets it back to McMurray for the three. Shot McMurray, no good. Rebound pulled out there, Meade for South. Meade gets it over to that's Roberts. Now to Tolley. Tolley gets it to Ashworth, and they're going to call a foul on Hubbard. Reaching around Ashworth. Foul on Wills, his first. Team's fifth. 44 seconds to go, first quarter, 13-11 South leads. They have the basketball. That's Tolley. Gets it to Ashworth. Shot no good. Rebound put back is good by Conkin, and he's fouled. Foul will be on Nate Clark on the block. Foul on Nate's his second. The team's sixth. So Brad Conkin trying to complete the three-point play, which he does.
South killing Gate City on the boards.
16-11 the score. South leads. 30 seconds to go, first quarter. Smith has it out front, gets it to McMurray. McMurray stands out front with it. Now gets it over to Clark. Gate City will hold it for the final shot. Back to McMurray. Over to Smith. Back to McMurray. Now to Hubbard. Hubbard puts it on the floor, gets it out front to Clark. 10 seconds. The play will start right about now. Here's Clark. Clark stops, 14-footer, no good. Rebound pulled out there, Meade. Meade has it, gets it to mid-court. The shot up from mid-court's no good. As the first quarter ends, it's Sullivan South 16, Gate City 11. Second quarter just underway here. Gate City has it. McMurray open for the three. Shot long, no good. Rebound Luke Humphreys tries to get it back out. Ball stolen away by South. That's Conaway. Conaway gets it over to Bedingfield. Bedingfield has it. Drives along the right baseline. Ball stolen away by Humphreys. Tried to get it back into Ashworth. Humphreys steps in front and steals it. Luke Humphreys has it. Now to Clark. Clark between the rings. Gets it right side to Will Humphreys. Will gets it along to the right of the lane to Luke Humphreys. And he's fouled by Haldren, is it?
Yes.
And that's three on Bo Haldren.
And Meade in for Haldren.
So we'll see how that plays out for the Blue Devils. Certainly takes a big scoring threat away from South. Luke Humphreys on the inbounds gets over to Smith now. To McMurray. Ball thrown in back court. So it'll belong to South off the turnover.
And that'll even up the turnovers 5 each.
Now the difference in this game and the last time we played them, South playing pretty decent defense here. They're, I think they were a little embarrassed at Gate City a couple of weeks ago. Conaway has it. Gets it to nobody. Has nobody on his team as Nate Clark steps in front and steals it. McMurray has it. Gets it back to Clark. Head of the key. Can't penetrate. Resets it. Gets it back to Luke Humphreys. Luke Humphreys gets it in the corner. Will Humphreys. Will out front. McMurray. McMurray swings it around now to Clark. Clark. Derek Smith right side trying to get it back to Clark. Ball kicked out of bounds. It'll belong to Gate City. Logan Bateman into the lineup. He'll replace Nate Clark. No, he won't. He'll replace Jesse McMurray. So Bateman in for McMurray. Clark on the inbounds. Gets it into Will Humphreys. Will. Wow. Yep. Traveling call as Humphreys started up with a shot and then just came back down, still in possession of the basketball.
Yeah, he lost a little control of the basketball when he first went up.
So off a turnover, South has it. Conaway behind the back dribble, guarded now by Bateman. Conaway gets it down low, shot blocked away by Smith. A foul will be called. I think they're going to call a foul on Will Humphreys. Nope, Derek Smith picks up the foul. I thought Smith blocked the shot.
I did too.
But he did block the shot. Evidently he called a piece of Conkin as he'll be at the line shooting 2. Brad Conkin's first free throw is good. That makes the score 17-11. South. Gate City's been outscored 8-0 by South. It was tied at 9. Free throw no good by Conkin. Nate Clark with the rebound. Drives down. Gets it over to Bateman. Bateman. Swing it back out front. Nate Clark. Nate spin moves. Drives down the lane. Stops. Gets it off to Bateman. His shot off the glass. Good. And he's fouled.
First points of the second quarter.
Fouls on 10, Mitch Bedingfield, his first. Team 6, Logan Bateman will try to complete the three-point play. Score 17-13, Sullivan South leads, 6:16 to go. Bateman's free throw is good. Make it 17-14. South with it with Conaway. Conaway right side, now right corner. That is Bedingfield. Clark has to be careful. He's playing with 2 fouls. Here's a shot by Bedingfield up and good.
Number 10, Mitch Bedingfield.
Bedingfield with a bucket. It's 19-14 South. Just inside 6 minutes to go here in the first half. Here's Clark. Leaves it off down low for Humphreys. Shot up. No good, but he's fouled. Will Humphreys will go to the line to shoot 2 for the Blue Devils. As the foul will be called on 42. Timmy Joe Meade, his first. That'll be the team's 7th.
Will Hubbard set to check in as Will Humphreys is at the line.
Free throw Will, good.
And Smith will take a break.
Make that 19-15, South leads. Still the same as Humphreys misses the second. So the Devils trailing by 4. South with the basketball. That's Conkin, and the ball goes in back court.
Off his foot.
Yeah. And the official makes the correct call. So a turnover to the Blue Devils. And Bateman will trigger it in. And he almost throws it away. And it will go off of Conaway out of bounds. That was a little risky on that inbounds. So now Will Hubbard will come in backcourt to inbounds. Gets it into Clark. And Nate will bring it up. Be picked up by Conaway. Clark has it. Drives down. Gets it over here to Hubbard. Now swinging around between the rings. Scott. Scott puts it on the floor, gets it down low. Nate Clark, shot off the glass, good.
Yeah, he got Meade up in the air. Meade came down. Clark made the shot.
Conaway for the Rebels, gets it right side. Bedingfield, he'll launch a 3, shot no good. Long rebound by Bateman for the Blue Devils, gets it over to Clark. Gate City trailing by 2, 5 minutes to go first half. Drew Scott has it. Scott gets it over to Nate Clark. Nate needs help, picked up his dribble, gets it to Bateman. Bateman kicks it back over to Clark. Now Hubbard with it, out between the rings, over to Scott. Scott puts it on the floor, drives down left of the lane, gets it to Humphreys, who's grabbed on his way to the bucket. No call, misses the shot, rebound South. Conaway has it. Meade now swinging around Bedingfield, down low, shot up, no good. Block will be called on Drew Scott. Foul on Scott's his second, and that'll put Brad Conkin at the line. He'll be shooting 1 and 1, no 2. be shooting 2 as he's ruled in the act of shooting. Free throw Conklin up and good.
Here comes E-Step, McMurray, and Luke Humphreys in for Clark, Bateman, and Will Humphreys.
20-17, South leads. 4.5 to go first half. Conklin's second free throw is good also. So South by 4, Gate City with the ball. It's McMurray to Scott. Scott throws it away. Conaway steals it. Scott steals it back. Hubbard comes up with it. So turnover Gate City, turnover South. Here's McMurray for Gate City. Loses his dribble, gets it over to Hubbard. Now left side, this is Humphreys. Luke gets it over to Scott. Scott slips, falls, ball on the floor, and going to have a timeout called by Scott laying on the floor. 21-17, Gate City trails, 4:02 to go first half. 2 to go first half. Devils trail by 4 with the basketball. Luke Humphreys gets it over to McMurray. Now back to Luke. Smith with it to McMurray. McMurray hands it over to Hubbard, cutting through Luke Humphreys. Ball tipped away by Ashworth, stolen away by the Rebels. Conaway with it. Gets it right side. Bedingfield's jumper up, no good. Mead's putback is good. Now, Gate City didn't box anybody out. Any one of 3 South players could have had that rebound and putback. 23-17. Gate City trails. Smith with it. Gets it over to Humphreys. Luke with it. Now out on top, McMurray. McMurray to E-Step. E-Step hands it to Hubbard. Hubbard stands between the rings to Smith. Gets it over to E-Step. Cross court pass to McMurray. He'll launch a 3-shot good.
Finally found a little opening there.
McMurray's first points is 23-20 South. Here's Bedingfield, drives in the lane, cut off, can't shoot. Hubbard strips and steals the ball, gets it over to McMurray. Good effort there by Hubbard. McMurray has it, stops, runner from in front, no good. Jesse kind of got caught between the shot and the pass, and here comes Conaway the other way. Gets it over to Conklin, now out on top Bedingfield. Long 3, Bedingfield in, out, no good. Rebound pulled out of there. Luke Humphreys for the Blue Devils, gets it over to McMurray. McMurray has it across the timeline. Gets it to Luke Humphreys, now to Hubbard. Hubbard has it right side to Smith. In the corner, E-Step. E-Step back to Hubbard. Now swing it out on top, Smith, around to McMurray. Cutting through is E-Step. He's knocked off his route, and the ball stolen away on the pass. Here comes Conklin, fouled by Derek Smith. And that'll put Brad Conklin on the line. He'll be shooting 1 and 1 for Sullivan South. That's the 9th team foul on the Blue Devils.
Jones and Clark in. E-Step, no. Smith and Hubbard.
Also Logan Bateman in.
As McMurray also has a seat.
So 1 and 1, Conklin first good. So he'll get the second. It'll be Conklin's 7th free throw here in the first half. And he's made 5 of them as he misses that one. Rebound Humphreys. Gate City trailing by 4, 2:10 to go here in the first half. Clark for the Blue Devils has it. Between the rings, that's Humphreys. Gets it over to Bateman. Bateman now to Clark. Clark puts it on the floor, stops, pops, a little 14-footer off the glass. Good. Good defense there by Conaway, but a good adjustment by Clark in midair, able to get the shot away before he came down, hit off the glass, went in. Conklin drives along the baseline, shot up, no good. Humphreys pulls it out of there for the Blue Devils. Luke gets it over to Bateman. Logan ahead now to Nate Clark. Devils trailing by 2, 1:30 to go here in the first half. Clark has it off a screen by Jones, drives down, can't shoot, tries to get it back into Jones. Jones with his size goes up, takes it away from Ashworth. His shot no good, but he's fouled by Ashworth. Good effort there by Zach to come up with that pass.
He definitely occupied the spot and worked hard for that one.
Yeah, well, that's exactly right. Now Zach will be shooting 2. Zach with 2 points. Free throw, Zach, no good. 24-22, Gate City trails. E-Step and Luke Humphreys out.
Hubbard and Bateman in.
Right. Zach Jones' second free throw is good. So Zach gets 1 out of 2. It's 24-23, 1:20 to go. First half. Conklin for the Rebels. Gets rid of it. Goes off of somebody, another Rebel, into the hands of Will Hubbard. Turnover Rebels. Gate City has it with a chance to take the lead. Clark for Gate City gets it over to Humphreys. Humphreys to Hubbard. Jones cuts through, can't get it to him. Stead out on top between the rings now. That's Bateman. Bateman has it over to Hubbard. Hubbard right side, puts it on the floor, drives down, shot up, good, but they're going to call the offensive foul on Will Hubbard. Not sure about that one. So wipe the bucket off.
Offensive foul number 1, Will Hubbard, his second.
Coach is not sure about that one either.
No, I'm not either. So 24-23, South leads with the basketball. Conaway guarded by Bateman. Double stacked each side of the lane for the Rebels. Now here's Conaway. Gets it over here for the little 14-foot jumper by Tolley. No good. Rebound Nate Clark. And what do we have? Blood.
Official timeout.
Or something. Got blood on. That'll be Bedingfield. Yeah, he's got a bloody knee. He'll have to come out of the lineup. I don't know if it's a floor burn. If it's a floor burn, it's a bad one.
Yes.
I'll tell you that. And I don't think it is. But anyway, Bedingfield will check out. And in for him will be Brad Conklin. 24-23, Gate City trails, 38 seconds to go first half. Clark gets it to Hubbard. Tried to get it to Clark. Ball, Hubbard smacked across the bridge of the nose by Ashworth, who picks up his second foul, and that'll put Will Hubbard at the line. Shooting 1 and 1. That's a 19 foul.
So Will can give Gate City their first lead since it was 7-5.
If he hits them both. 31 seconds to go first half. Hubbard's front end of the 1 and 1. Good. We're tied at 24. So Hubbard looks to give the Blue Devils the lead, which he doesn't as he misses a free throw. Rebound Ashworth. Ashworth gets it over to Conaway. We'll see if the Rebels hold it for the final shot of the half. Conaway has it. Spins, gets it over here for the shot. No, it's not a shot. What are we going to have? Offensive foul called on who? It's on
14?
12. Tolley. I couldn't tell if it was Tolley or Conklin. I knew it was offensive foul, just couldn't tell on which one. And Logan Bateman, who drew the foul, will shoot 2, as that's the 10th team foul. So Logan will be shooting 2. We're tied at 24, 16 seconds to go. Bateman's free throw, good. So the Devils' first lead since you said it's 7-5 early. Bateman's second free throw, also good. So the Devils lead 26-24 with 13 seconds to go first half. Here's Conaway. Conaway drives right side, stops, shoots over Hubbard, no good. Hubbard picks up his third foul. I was hoping we could get out of the half with nobody having 3. It didn't happen as Hubbard picks the foul up with 7.3 seconds to go. Gate City in a little bit of trouble with Hubbard with 3, and then you got Clark, Humphrey, Scott, and Smith all with 2. Free throw good by Conaway.
Hubbard out Smith in.
His first point. So it's 26-25 Gate City, 7.3 seconds to go. First half. Second free throw no good by Conaway. Smith had it. Gets it over to Conaway. His layup no good. Zach Jones rips it out of there for Gate City. And he gets it over to Clark as the first half comes to an end. One half in the books here at Sullivan South, and it's the Blue Devils 26 and the Rebels 25.
I'm a senior at Gate City High School. The GCH girls and boys basketball teams would like to thank the following sponsors for their support of the efforts of GCTV. 1, Doughty Brothers Chevrolet. 2, Delegate Terry Kilgore. 3, Fairway Ford Volkswagen. 4, Farm Bureau Insurance. 5, Jackson Street Formals. 6, Law Office of Jeff Hamilton. 7, Mark's Hardware. 8, Scott County Long Distance 9 State Line Graphics, 10 Weber City Drug Center.
City High School Sportsman's Banquet honoring the 2003 state championship Gate City High School football team will be held on Sunday, February the 29th at the Meadowview Conference Center beginning at 2 p.m. Tickets are $20 for adults and $10 for children ages 6 to 12. The high school asks those wishing to attend would please buy their tickets by February the 24th. Again, that is Sunday, February the 29th at the Meadowview Conference Center beginning at 2 p.m. Tickets are $20 for adults, $10 for children ages 6 to 12, and that is open to the general public.
25. And we're just about ready to start the second half of action. Gate City won the girls game previously, so they've beaten South 2-1 this season.
And the boys varsity looking to make it the sweep of the season. The JV teams, the JV boys split, and the JV girls didn't play tonight.
South won the JV contest 52-50.
So we're about ready to go. It'll be South with the possession.
Looks like coach is going to sit Hubbard for a while with 3 fouls.
Yeah, as Zach Jones starts the second half. That's an astute observation. South with it. Conaway has it. That is Bedingfield. Tries and gets it down low to Ashworth. Ashworth has it stripped away by Clark. Ball on the floor, stolen away Jones. Clark tipped it away. Jones steals it. Scott comes out there with it for the Blue Devils. Gets it to McMurray. Launches a 3. Shot good.
That's the way to start the second half, or any half, as a matter of fact.
29-25. Gate City leads. I believe that's their biggest lead. Bedingfield has it. Picks up his dribble. Gets it over to Conaway. Conaway gets it back to Bedingfield. Gate City a little more pressure defensively. Over to Conkin. Conkin stops. Shoots a 16-footer. No good. Rebound Scott. Boxing off Conkin. Clark for Gate City has it. Gets it down low. Zach Jones. Zach kicks it back to Scott. Swinging around. Luke Humphreys open for the 3. Shot. Humphreys short. Rebound Scott. Scott to Luke. Luke Humphreys. Now back center circle McMurray. Gate City will reset it. McMurray gets it over to Scott. Scott puts it on the floor. Now to McMurray. This is a long 3 by McMurray. Good. I mean, downtown 3. Timeout. Sullivan South. Gate City leads 32-25. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
32-25. Gate City leads. 6:40 to go third.
Got Jesse McMurray 2 threes here. South with it in backcourt. This is Bedingfield. Bedingfield has it. Head of key, left side Conaway. Conaway gets it back right side Bedingfield. Down low to Haldren. He turns and he walks. That's great team defense by Luke Humphreys had him. And then Haldren turned and big Zach Jones was there, and Haldren stuck it right in Zach's chest, and it didn't really move him much, and that caused the turnover. Good double team. Here's McMurray, another long 3. Good. That, if they're going to guard him at the line, he's just going to back up 3 feet and shoot it, I guess. I mean, nothing but the bottom of the sack. Conaway has it. Devils out by 10 points now. Conaway gets it to Ashworth. Jumper right of the lane, no good. Rebound Zach Jones for the Blue Devils. Zach gets it over to McMurray. McMurray behind the back dribble, loses possession, picks it up, gets it to Clark. Clark with it. Now left side Derek Smith, who's checked in. Smith gets it over to Luke Humphreys, and we're going to have a foul called on who?
McMurray?
Yep, they call it on Jesse McMurray on the shove away from the ball. I guess trying to get a little spacing. Jesse will check out, pleads innocent, and I didn't see it either. But anyway, the Rebels have it with Conaway. Conaway, left side, picks up his dribble. Hounded there by Bateman, gets it along the baseline, shot up off the bottom of the backboard by Aldridge. He was triple teamed that time. Nate Clark quickly in front court for the Blue Devils. Gets it to Hubbard. Back to Clark for the layup. Good. Nate Clark with the bucket. Gate City leads by 12. Trailed by as many as 6 in the first half. Conaway has it. Picks up his dribble, gets it right side, tipped out of bounds by Smith.
Just look what happens when you pick up the defensive pressure.
Well, we're kind of doing the same thing South did to us in the first half. We're playing them a little tighter here, playing a little harder.
It also picks up your offense.
And they're going to get Smith with a touch foul. Derek will pick up his third.
Will Humphreys in for Luke.
37-25, 5:08 to go. That's one thing Gate City's going to have to be careful about, getting people picking up their third foul here early in the second half. They have a bunch with two. Here's a pass in to Halldren, almost stolen away. Conaway comes up with it, gets it back to Ashworth, who's camped out in the lane. He needs a 10. Gets it back to Ashworth. His shot up, no good after he walked. So Gate City comes out there with it. Smith gets it to Clark, leaves it off down low. Will Humphreys, his shot up off the glass, good. Will Humphreys with the bucket. And the Blue Devils have not allowed South to score here in the second half. They've scored 13 to nothing to start the third quarter. Conaway has it, can't shoot, ball tipped away and foul, Logan Bateman. Logan picks up his first. Gate City almost had another steal.
Here comes Zach back in.
And nope. Oh, coach changed his mind. Maybe because of the substitution that South had as Ashworth checks out, Meade in. Here's Meade with the ball. His shot over Humphreys is good. So that's the first points of the second half. It comes at 4.5 to go in the third quarter for the Rebels. Gate City with it. Clark gets it to Hubbard. Swing it around Smith now. Derek gets it over to Nate Clark. Clark off the screen by Hubbard. Gets it to Bateman now. Swing it around back left side. This is Hubbard. Hubbard out on top. Clark. Clark back to Bateman. Along the baseline, this is Will Humphreys. His shot up, no good. Humphreys tips, no good. Humphreys gets the rebound. He'll be called for traveling.
Contact between he and Bateman caused that.
Yeah, that was a good call.
Yeah, both of them going for the ball.
39-27, Gate City leads. Quickly, here's Conkin in front court. His shot up over Smith is no good. Rebound, Hubbard. Hubbard gets it over to Clark. Clark gets it left side, Bateman, now to Smith. Smith, Clark, center circle, now Hubbard, right side, right corner. That's Will Humphreys. Hubbard cuts through, can't get it to him, back out on top, Clark. Clark for the Blue Devils, gets it to Humphreys, back to Clark. His shot up, no good. Coming out of there with it, South. That's Bedingfield. Bedingfield loses possession, stolen away by Bateman, and they're going to call Logan with a foul. That's another kind of tough break there for the Blue Devils. Almost had another steal, but committed the foul.
Nate needs a break. He gets it. McMurray in. Also
Scott for Logan Bateman. So South on the inbounds, gets it into Conaway. Conaway has it along the baseline. Gets it into Bedingfield. His running left-hander up and good. 39-29. Gate City with a 10-point lead. McMurray with it. McMurray drives into the lane and we call for traveling as he stopped but didn't stop. I guess he tried to stop and couldn't. E-Step will check in. Mark E-Step for the Blue Devils. Derek Smith out. So the Rebels have Timmy Joe Meade to inbounds. Meade gets it into Conaway. Conaway brings it across the timeline, guarded by Scott. Conaway takes it all the way down. Shot off the glass, good.
split E-Step and Scott.
E-Step has it in front court. Hubbard now to McMurray. Jesse gets it to Will Humphreys. Will drives along the baseline, back to Scott. Open for the three. Shot Scott, short. Rebound Halldren. Halldren has it, gets it to Conaway, quickly to Conkin. Conkin cut off on the baseline, can't shoot, gets it over to Halldren. Halldren puts it on the floor, drives down, runs over Will Humphreys. Offensive foul. Bo Halldren picks up his fourth. Will Humphreys stands his ground, draws the foul.
Ashworth will check in for Halldren.
Also in Tolley for Bedingfield. So the Blue Devils with an 8-point lead, 2:30 to go third quarter. Nate Clark has it across the timeline. Gets it right side. McMurray launches a 3-shot long. No good. Rebound Hubbard for Gate City. Hubbard gets it back to Clark. He'll shoot the 3-shot. No good. Rebound. Hubbard has a hand on it again. Ball fought for. It'll belong to Gate City as it goes off of Meade out of bounds. Good hustle play there by Hubbard.
Luke Humphreys in for Will Humphreys.
Nate Clark in the corner to inbounds. Gets it into McMurray. McMurray will circle it back out front. Now give it off to Clark. Clark for Gate City has it head of the key. Gets it to McMurray. His shot up, no good. Rebound, McMurray had a hand on it. Falls to the floor. Coming out of there with it, South. Polly gets it over to Conaway. South looking to cut into Gate City's lead. Over to Conkin. Open for the 3-shot. Conkin in, out, no good. Rebound, Ashworth has a hand on it. Ashworth loses it, and it almost goes out of bounds, but Conkin tries to save it in, and he does throw it out of bounds. Again, good defense there by the Blue Devils. Ashworth just couldn't quite handle it. Ashworth, I think, is a sophomore. I believe that was it.
Yes.
That's right. So will get much better with time. He certainly has the physical size. No. The ball was lost out of bounds. The official evidently pointed the wrong way.
He corrects it.
Yeah, the ball was tipped out of bounds by South. Gate City retains possession. Clark with it. Gate City leads by 8. Here's E-Step. His shot off the glass. Good. So quickly we go the other way. Gate City back out by 10. That's Conkin with it. Now right side, that's Tolley. Drives down, leaves it off for Ashworth. Tips it over to Conkin. Conkin thought about the shot. He'll drive in. Shot off the glass, no good. Rebound, Meade put back good, and he's fouled by Hubbard, his 4th.
That's the 8th rebound by Meade, the leading rebounder in the game.
That's Meade's 10th point. Hubbard will have to check out now with those 4 fouls.
Jones in.
41-33, 1:17 to go here in the 3rd quarter. So Meade with 10. Make it 11 as he hits the free throw. And Gate City's lead's been cut to 7. Luke Humphreys for Gate City with it. Gets it to McMurray. McMurray back to Clark. Gets it down low. Jones for the layup, good. Zach just got Ashworth on his hip, and Ashworth couldn't have reached around him in a week. Here driving for the layup, good. Brad Conkin on the other end. 55 seconds to go, 3rd quarter. 43-36, Gate City leads. McMurray has it. E-Step cuts through, can't get it to him. McMurray drives, stops, pops, 17-footer, no good. E-Step has a hand on it. Conkin comes up with it. Conkin, 1-on-3, gets it over here, Meade. 15-footer Meade, no good. Rebound, Ashworth. Ashworth forces up the shot, no good. Jones tips it, and Meade tips it. It goes off of Meade out of bounds. So the Devils lead by 7.
Bedingfield and Robertson for Conaway and Conkin.
Smith and Scott in for McMurray and Jones for the Blue Devils. Zach giving Gate City some good minutes here off the bench. So Gate City will have it. They'll probably hold it for the final shot of the 3rd quarter, leading by 7. Scott, midcourt, now gets it over to E-Step. E-Step back out front. Humphreys now to Clark. 17 seconds. Clark has it. 5-second count on. Clark, offensive foul. That's number 3 on him. Clark pushes off with a free arm. And that's 43-36. And South will have a chance to get a little bit closer. Roberts has it for South. 8 seconds, 7 seconds. Roberts gets it over here in the corner to Bedingfield. Bedingfield back to Tolley, and he throws it away. E-Step comes up with it. Ball on the floor. 3rd quarter over. Gate City leads after 3, 43-36. So at the beginning of the 4th quarter here at Sullivan South, Gate City leads 43-36. They'll have possession of the basketball. It's Clark, Scott, Luke Humphreys, Zach Jones, Derek Smith on the floor now for the Blue Devils. Ball tipped away from Clark. He runs it down. Clark has it back. Left side, that's Luke Humphreys. Now to Scott. Scott out front, drives to the baseline. Now back out front. That's Nate Clark. Smith has it. Off the screen from Jones, right side. Now back out the timeline with it is Scott. Scott puts it on the floor, gets it over to Clark. Now back to Smith. He spots up for the three. Shot in, out, no good. Zach Jones has a hand on the rebound. No coming out there with it. Conaway. Conaway for the Rebels. Gets it over to Tolley. Tolley picks up his dribble. Long cross court pass to Bedingfield. Bedingfield puts it on the floor. Drives, stops, shot off the glass. No good. Rebound pulled out there. Derek Smith for the Blue Devils. Smith for Gate City will bring it up himself across the timeline. Has it right side, gets it right corner. Scott. Smith cuts through, can't get it to him. Here's Scott. Gets it back to Clark. Now Humphreys. Around it comes to Smith. Gets it down low to Jones. Jones has it stolen away by Ashworth. Ashworth quickly ahead to Conaway. Here driving shot blocked away off of Meade, out of bounds by Drew Scott. Scott blocks the shot. Meade was standing out of bounds. It rolls down his back. That's a good play by Scott and a good break for the Blue Devils. Will Hubbard checks back in. Hubbard plays with 4 fouls. Bo Haldren has 4 for the Rebels. He's still on the bench. Gate City leads by 7. Nate Clark with it. Gets it over here to Smith. Back out on top. That's Humphreys to Clark. Now to Hubbard. Right side Smith. Back to Hubbard. Now Clark has it between the rings. Clark penetrates. Gets it down low to Humphreys. Over to Hubbard. Hubbard cutting through Scott. Ball on the floor. Stolen away Conaway. Conaway has it. Drives down. Leaves it off with a shot up off the glass. Good by Brad Conklin. Blue Devils a turnover. Quickly south with the points. They're back within 5. Gate City hit them quick to start the second half. Got a 14-point lead after leading by 1. Here's Nate Clark. Leaves it off down low. Luke Humphrey shot off the glass. Good. And we got a timeout. Timeout on the floor by the Blue Devils. They lead by 7. It'll be a 30-second timeout.
40 to go in the third quarter. It's now 43-38, Gate City. With 5:58 to go in the game.
And South has it. Meade on the inbounds. Gets it into Conaway. Conaway across the timeline with it. Now circles to the middle. Gets it over to Meade. Meade has it out on the floor. South looking for a backdoor cut, it looks like. Here comes Conklin along the baseline. Offensive foul called on Brad Conklin. And Hubbard, with them 4 fouls, had to slide in front there to pick that up. And that
you got to make sure you set yourself on that one.
Well, he certainly had the position that time. Here comes Bo Haldren in for South. Haldren, their leading scorer, has not played half the game, I wouldn't think, in foul trouble. McMurray has it for Gate City. They lead by 7. Hubbard has it stolen away by Ashworth. Ashworth gets it ahead.